Milwaukee Bucks have officially entered one of the most uncertain offseasons in recent franchise history. Despite having Giannis Antetokounmpo, arguably the best two-way player in the league, the team just made a move so surprising that even Giannis himself is reportedly unhappy. The decision to waive Damian Lillard has sent shockwaves across the NBA, and it raises serious questions about where the Bucks go from here, and more importantly, whether Giannis will still be part of that future. The Greek Freak is reportedly very unhappy with the development of events regarding Damian Lillard, but will it be enough for him to look for a new home? Just over a year ago, the Bucks looked like a title favorite. They had just acquired Damian Lillard to pair with Giannis in what was supposed to be one of the most dominant duos in the NBA, but instead of winning championships, the Bucks crashed out of the playoffs early, again, and with Lillard suffering a torn Achilles during the first-round series against the Indiana Pacers, Milwaukee had a tough choice to make. Rather than keep Lillard on the roster while he rehabs for the entire 2025-26 season, the Bucks made a shocking move. They waived Lillard and used the NBA stretch provision to spread the remaining $113 million on his contract over 5 years. This move gave them short-term salary cap relief, enough to sign free agent center Miles Turner to a 4-year, $107 million contract. On paper, that sounds like a smart financial decision, but the emotional and locker room impact might be much bigger than expected. According to reports from NBA insider Chris Haynes, Giannis Antetokounmpo is not pleased with the team's decision to release Lillard, and more than that, he reportedly wasn't even consulted before the move was made. For a player who's won 2 MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, and delivered the franchise its first title in 50 years back in 2021, that's a massive red flag. It's not just Haynes who reported on this. Shams Charania is a firm believer that this decision will make Giannis question his commitment to the Bucks. Elaborating further on this, the ESPN insider said,
"Well, it means that it continues. I'm told that Giannis Antetokounmpo will continue to evaluate not just what happened today, but what's happening all offseason in Milwaukee." And he took notice of this move, no doubt, but sources tell me that it's more than just tonight. And at the end of the offseason, my understanding is Giannis Antetokounmpo will ask himself, will look himself in the mirror, look around him, and say, can I win a championship with this team as currently constructed? And the answer to that question faces not only him, but the Bucks and Milwaukee. And again, what happens if that answer is no? The only person that knows the answer to that is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
This isn't the first time Giannis has been left out of the decision-making process. Back in 2023, when the Bucks traded Jrue Holiday, one of Giannis's closest teammates, to get Lillard in the first place, he also reportedly played no role in the decision. That move caused friction, but Giannis stayed patient. Now, 2 years later, Milwaukee has let go of both Holiday and Lillard, and once again, Giannis wasn't part of the conversation. While Giannis hasn't gone public with any trade requests or ultimatums, this kind of silence from the front office sends the wrong message. When your entire franchise is built around one player, and that player is one of the best in the world, how do you not involve him in key decisions about the future of the team? It's worth noting that Milwaukee didn't make these moves randomly. The Bucks are operating with extreme pressure and limited flexibility. With Lillard set to miss the season, Brook Lopez already gone, and Chris Middleton traded for Kyle Kuzma, the team had to act fast. They needed to clear salary, rebuild the core around Giannis, and stay competitive in an Eastern Conference that suddenly looks wide open. The Celtics are dealing with Jayson Tatum's injury, the Pacers are without Tyrese Haliburton, and the Knicks are still figuring things out after another playoff disappointment. In theory, the Bucks could still make a deep run if they play their cards right. That's where the Turner signing comes in. Turner is younger than Lopez, a better rim protector, and can stretch the floor with three-point shooting. He's also known for his switchable defense, which could pair perfectly with Giannis. According to Shams Charania, Turner and Giannis actually discussed the possibility of teaming up before the deal was finalized, and both were enthusiastic about the idea. But let's be clear, signing Miles Turner doesn't completely solve the problem. Losing Lillard still leaves a huge hole at point guard. The Bucks haven't added a true replacement yet, and names like Russell Westbrook or Spencer Dinwiddie have been floated but not confirmed. Milwaukee's backcourt is now a work in progress, and Giannis has to wonder whether he'll be carrying too much of the load. Again, this is where the tension begins to build. Giannis is turning 31 in December. He's just entering the first year of a new 3-year contract, but that final year is a player option. If he feels the Bucks aren't serious about competing for another title, he can walk away in 2027, or even ask for a trade before that. That's why the Lillard decision matters so much. It's not just about losing a teammate, it's about losing time. And time is something Giannis is running out of. He just finished another brilliant season, averaging 30.4 points, 11.9 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. But the team around him hasn't been able to match that level of excellence. And now, the margin for error is even smaller. So now, the big question becomes clear. Can the Bucks convince Giannis to believe in their new plan? Can the addition of Miles Turner, plus a few secondary pieces, be enough to make him feel like this team is still a contender, or has the clock already started ticking on a potential exit? Let's break down what all this means for Giannis and the franchise's future. The Milwaukee Bucks have made their move, but now all eyes turn to Giannis Antetokounmpo. With Damian Lillard waived and Brook Lopez gone, the Bucks are entering a new phase. The front office believes that the addition of Miles Turner and the retention of key role players like Bobby Portis, Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., and new addition Gary Harris will be enough to keep the team in championship contention. But the real question is, does Giannis believe it? Let's not forget the context. Giannis signed a 3-year extension that kicks in this upcoming season worth $172 million. He's under contract through 2027 with a player option in the final year worth $62.7 million. That sounds like long-term security, but in today's NBA, contract years mean far less than they used to. If a superstar wants out, it usually happens quickly. Milwaukee doesn't have time to test Giannis's patience, especially not after making major decisions without involving him. So far, the Bucks have avoided complete chaos. Despite reports that Giannis was upset about Lillard being waived, he has not made any public comments suggesting a trade request. However, insiders like Chris Haynes and Shams Charania have made it clear Giannis was not consulted on the decision, and that could open the door for further frustration down the line. The Bucks gambled, and while they may have won short-term flexibility, they also risked alienating their franchise player. Let's be honest, this is a dangerous game to play. Since winning the 2021 NBA championship, the Bucks have won just one playoff series. In that time, they've had 3 different head coaches and completely reshuffled the core around Giannis. First, they moved on from Jrue Holiday, then Lopez, then Middleton, and now Lillard. It's understandable that Giannis might be wondering if there's a clear plan in place, or if the front office is just reacting to each crisis as it comes. Miles Turner is a strong addition. At 30 years old, he's in his prime. He averaged 16.9 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks last season while shooting 52.4% from the field and 36.9% from 3. Defensively, he remains one of the league's best rim protectors. Offensively, his floor spacing allows Giannis more room to attack. If Turner stays healthy, something that's been a challenge at times in his career, the Bucks could once again have one of the league's top front courts. But adding Turner doesn't address Milwaukee's backcourt concerns. Without Lillard, the team lacks a true point guard. The Bucks are reportedly exploring the free agent market, with names like Russell Westbrook and Spencer Dinwiddie being discussed. However, neither of those players offers the shot creation or gravity that Lillard brought, even if briefly. The loss of Damian isn't just emotional, it's strategic. It changes how defenses approach Giannis and puts even more pressure on him to initiate offense. The Bucks' front office believes they've struck a balance between competing now and preparing for the future. By stretching Lillard's contract, they lowered their salary cap hit by $91 million over the next 2 years, spreading it out over 5 seasons. That gave them just enough room to land Turner, a player they believe can anchor their defense and help lighten the load on Giannis. Still, the team's current ceiling is uncertain. Kyle Kuzma, brought in via trade for Chris Middleton, had a strong regular season but was a major disappointment in the playoffs. He averaged just 12.3 points on 38% shooting in the Bucks' first-round loss. Meanwhile, other contenders in the Eastern Conference are dealing with their own setbacks. Boston is retooling after Jayson Tatum's injury. The Pacers are likely taking a step back due to Tyrese Haliburton's Achilles tear, and the Knicks are still reshaping their core. This offseason, the Bucks have signaled that they're not rebuilding. They are fully committed to building around Antetokounmpo, but loyalty is a two-way street, and Giannis has already done more than enough for this organization. He brought them a title. He stayed through 2 major core changes. He signed multiple extensions. What he wants now is simple: a real chance to win again. If that chance doesn't materialize over the next season, it's not hard to imagine Giannis reevaluating everything, and at that point, the trade rumors won't be whispers, they'll be headlines. So here's where we are. The Bucks made bold moves to fix their roster. They brought in Miles Turner. They brought back Bruce Brown. They still have Portis, Kuzma, and several capable wings. But Giannis is watching, and so is the entire NBA, because when a superstar of his caliber starts to question the direction of his team, it doesn't take long for the landscape to shift. For now, Giannis remains the face of the franchise, but unless Milwaukee delivers on the promise of contention, that could change, and fast. Let us know what you think. Did the Bucks do enough this offseason to keep Giannis happy, or is it only a matter of time before the rumors turn into reality? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to hit that like button for more NBA breakdowns.